Hi, my name's Adam Chamberlain from Elite Pro Golf, and today I'm going to give you a tip that I think could potentially transform your golf right now when it really matters. And right now, what I mean by this is coming towards the end of June, got July, August, September. This is when most of the competitions that all of us club golfers really want to play well in. It's when the season's right in its prime. Now, what I want to do is help you perform on the golf course. Now, I've seen a lot of people recently, and they're working really, really well on their games. They're improving. Everything's going really, really well. But often I get from a few people is just not performing on the golf course and not quite putting it together. Now, this is a really, really hard time because you know you're getting better. You can see some results on the range. You're hitting the ball or short game, whatever it may be, is really improved. But when it comes to card and pencil in my hand, for some reason, it just doesn't quite want to work. And it can be really, really frustrating because what tends to happen is you then blame your swing. No, I kind of fell back and hit that shot and, went to the right and it didn't quite work. I'm going to ask you this. When was the last time when you were on the practice area that you actually practiced playing golf? And what I mean by practicing is, we training the skill of controlling the ball, or are we doing this? So this is what I see an awful lot. Okay, let's just work on my takeaway. That's what I need to do. Right, let's get that like that. Everything moving away together. Okay, cool. Let's hit a shot like that. Perfect. That felt pretty good. Okay, maybe I hit 5, 10 balls like that. Okay, then I kind of move on and for whatever I may be working on. So for me, I'm going to feel like I get the club a bit more down in front of me. This way, club and arms in front rather than my body first. Okay, let's try that one again. Okay, not very good strike, but felt a better swing. Maybe hit 5 or 6 like that. Now, is that somebody like you? Are you the person who kind of works on your technique like this? I can personally say that's how I used to practice when I was younger and I played a lot more. I spent far too much time trying to improve and perfect, if you like, my technique. Because in my head, I thought, hey, if I've got a perfect swing, if I've got the club in exactly the right position, there's no way I can hit a bad shot. In reality, I was completely wrong. Okay, there's far too many people out there with less than perfect swings that have a lot more what I can call playing skills than other golfers. Now, ask yourself this. If you're practicing like this, and I would advocate this if you're working on some technique. However, if you're going to hit 100 golf balls, you need to split it. You need to make sure you're splitting for the last at least 20 to 30 balls. You need to be practicing to play golf. Because for me, and I've heard another pro explain it this way, I thought it was really good terminology. Am I training or am I practicing? Okay, so training for me is training your golf swing, is improving and working on what you need to work on. But practicing is practicing for performance, in my opinion. So you practice your skill of controlling the ball. Now, controlling the ball has a lot more to do with all the information that is in front of us and creating a picture or an image. Now, ask yourself this. If I asked you to paint a picture, what would be the first thing you'd ask me? Yeah. Of what? What would you like me to paint you a picture of? Now, without that information, you can't start. So then if I said to you, I want you to draw me a ball. Okay? The next question would be, what type of ball? So you can see those questions are leading into more detail, and that's what you need to learn to do when you're on the golf course. You need to learn to add a little bit of layers of detail. So how far have I got to the flag? Okay, so I've 150 to the flag, let's say. So 150 to the flag, but is the flag on the middle, the front, or the back of the green? Okay, it's on the back of the green. Okay, and how firm are the greens? Well, apart from today when it's raining, the greens have been a little bit firm. So I played last night with a couple of playing lessons. The greens are bouncing on with a short iron about 5 yards because they're quite firm. Okay, so now I need to land the ball 145 for the ball to finish at 150. Okay, I've only got 2 or 3 yards past the flag because the pin's on the back of the green. So all of a sudden now my yardage is 145. What about the wind? Well, the wind is, let's say, downwind. Okay, so you can see how I'm starting to add on these layers of information. The next thing is, okay, so the wind, what does that do to yardage? Does it add on yardage? Does it take off yardage? Okay, and now you're creating a picture. You're giving your brain some information and telling it what you need to do. So you can then walk into the shot and execute it. You also may not aim at the flag. Far too many people, in my opinion, are aiming at flags when actually they need to aim at the centre of the green, because that's going to give you the best chance of kind of saving shots. Okay, now you've got to be realistic. If you're 150 yards away, most golfers, anywhere on the green is very, very good. And to be honest with you, it's two territories. We're not going to make birdies from 150 and in. Okay, it's just not going to happen. We're trying to make pars or save bogeys at best. You know, we don't want to be making doubles and triples, and this happens when we get sucked into waving at that flapping thing in the wind. Okay, try and aim at the safe part of the green, and I almost promise you most of the time you would improve. So this is what I want you to do this week. I want you to get on the practice area, grab some practice balls, however many you use, 50, 100, doesn't really matter, and I want you to ask yourself, am I training my golf swing or am I practicing? Which one am I doing? Okay, far too many people, and I was guilty of this massively, is what we did was we go on the range and we're training 100% of the time and we're not doing any practice to play golf. I want to flip that. It's tournament time, it's time to play your best. This is when it matters. Let's flip your practice completely the other way, especially in a week leading up to a big event that you want to play in. We need to play more on a golf course. We need to be practicing on the range our pre-shot routine. We need to be changing our club and our target on every single shot and going through our full routine. There's no chance of you feeling comfortable under pressure if you're not practicing your routine on a regular basis. I almost promise you, start visualizing the shot, start adding a little bit of a layer of detail to what you're trying to do, and try and forget about your mechanics and become more reactive. Okay, there's my target. I go in, visualize the shot I want, I get in there, I look at the target, and then all of a sudden I just let it go. The trick on the golf course is to be able to let the swing go with no fear of where the ball's going to go. Whatever happens, we can cope with it. I promise you, play like this and you'll start to perform when it matters.